A new installment from the Wall Street Journal's series, The Facebook Files, reported on Facebook's playbook when dealing with bad press. Quote, stem the leaks, spin the politics, and don't say sorry, end quote. Joining us now is one of the reporters on that piece, Emily Glazer, Wall Street Journal business reporter. Emily, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on this topic. And reading the article and your reporting, it suggests that Facebook really tried to kind of divide lawmakers as much as possible down party lines, if necessary, on a topic that otherwise perhaps could have been something that unified them.
Indeed, Will. Good to see you. And that is exactly what they did. The day after the Facebook whistleblower, Frances Haugen, testified in Congress in early October, the Facebook Washington team started working the phones. They were calling Republicans, lawmakers, advocacy groups, and really their goal was to try to divide lawmakers along party lines because they're hoping that more legislation won't get passed.
And was it effective?
Time will tell, but I'm going to say no. I spoke with Senator Mike Lee's office. He is the leading Republican on the Antitrust Senate subcommittee. He's also a member of the Consumer Protection Subcommittee. That is the one that brought Frances Haugen, the whistleblower, to testify. And I quote him, the documents speak for themselves. He said as well that he has legislation in the works and is in touch with lawmakers, and especially their focus on legislation that protects children from potential harms of social media. Part of our Facebook Files series, led by my colleague Jeff Harwitz, shows that Instagram has impacts and could harm teen girls, especially when it comes to mental health and body image issues. And so that's something that lawmakers have latched onto.
Mm-hmm. Was it that surprising that they would do this? I mean, is this not fairly common practice from companies of all sectors, not just social media?
Look, I think whenever any company is in the crosshairs, the lobbyists, the policy team will try to spin what they want. What's unique here is that Facebook is trying to do it from all sides. They were telling Republicans that, that this could hurt them and that potentially Frances Haugen was a Democratic activist. We saw them make these allegations run especially by one person on their policy team who was making some of these calls. And then literally just a day or two later, we saw similar allegations pop up in conservative right-leaning news outlets like the Daily Wire, the Washington Free Beacon, the Spectator. And Facebook was trying to have it both sides. They were also apparently going to Democrats and saying that, this could impact them as well. And so, yes, companies do try to spin, but this was on a new level, at least from what I've seen in my more than a decade of business and finance reporting.
So clearly a lot of spin going on, Emily. What does your reporting tell you about the extent to which the name change to Meta was part of that spin and distraction?
Well, look, they made that name change after there had been, already some congressional hearings. This is something that we've seen in the past. Google is now has the holding company Alphabet, so it isn't a brand new idea. But it does have some confusion. Even when we're reporting, people say Meta, Facebook, what do we call it? And so anything that takes the attention off of the company is something that could ultimately help the company. And a key part of our reporting from this story is that CEO, co-founder, and chairman Mark Zuckerberg, who holds the most power at this company, is very focused on the metaverse and bringing the company into the future of the internet and not stay focused on its messy past and not apologize for anything with what's been going on. And might I add, 4 congressional hearings, bipartisan state AG's investigation, investors who are angry, and some users who are frustrated. So I wouldn't say that's not nothing.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.